So moved. Second.
Any corrections? Hearing none, call your vote, please.
Malcolm,
Yes.
Patty,
Yes.
Simon,
Yes. Yes.
Babcock.
Yes.
Next item, public comment. Is there anyone in the audience who wishes to address the board or anyone remotely who wishes to address the board?
Someone with their hand up, last four digits of 133, or last three digits of 133.
Okay.
This person with your hand up, you can address the board.
Can you hear us?
Am I unmuted?
There's
Yep.
Justin. Oh, it's Justin.
Welcome.
Yeah, it's me. Sorry, I couldn't get off work in time. I'm here.
Okay.
And I couldn't
Well-
get myself unmuted, but I'll just mute my phone now, okay?
So we'll reflect the roll call that you have joined in the meeting. Thank you. Public comment? Right, there'll be another opportunity for public comment at the end of the meeting. President's report. First, I'd like to make you all aware that October 1 begins Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and you may have noticed it's outside of Village Hall have been changed to reflect that pink. So be aware, make a donation. Speak to people that you love that should take care of themselves. I'd also like to now move to introduce to you Attorney Tom Green. We are happy to have you here.
Thank you, Mayor. I appreciate it. I appreciate all of you. Joe reached out to me I don't know, maybe 6 weeks ago and suggested I submit a letter of possible representation. I understand that's been accepted and I look forward to working with all of you. I did meet with the mayor and Joe last week. We talked about a few things. Again, I am Tom Green. I'm an attorney with Barrett Schweitzer, Long Balls, and Van Everett. As a law firm, the law firm's existed since like 1938, but they've been doing municipal law for various communities within the region since before I joined the firm in 1986. I've been doing municipal law, represent currently 5 municipalities, some at a higher level than others. Some I go to their meetings like it's 6 years, some I just deal with the issues as they come up. Caledonia, I have to check every few months to see if I'm still listed on the website as the village attorney, and last I looked I was, but they haven't had any questions for me in quite a while. They're a community of only 200 people or so. So it is a big part of my practice, a big part of the firm's practice. Sean Fulbright is already assisting the police department with traffic prosecution. We appreciate that opportunity. My partner Doug Henry will assist with administrative hearing matters. There's another partner, Darren Burke, who would also be available if the amount of work, occasionally many things come up, and if I need to reach out to someone, I do that. I enjoy doing this kind of work. I appreciate the opportunity to work with municipalities. I told the mayor when I met with her, my feeling, my position, my kind of philosophy is I represent the entire village. It means I represent everybody in this room that is working for or elected to serve for the village of Roscoe. I will work most closely with the administration, mayor, with Joe. I will take my direction from them in terms of the projects they have me work on, whether it's ordinances or drafting agreements or working on particular items. But I want to be available to the trustees if there are questions, if there are issues, and I've told them my position is I feel like I need to be available. They will have my contact information, which would include my cell phone. And I don't have a problem with being called on the weekends or anytime. I'm a firm believer in being available to my clients at all times. I mean, there'll be times when I won't be able to answer the phone, but my feeling is I should always be available. My other philosophy is you deserve a candid legal answer to whatever your legal question is, without me having to call the mayor and say, hey, do I have permission to answer these questions? Or do I have permission to talk with these folks. However, I will say, if one of you calls me and asks me a series of questions and I give you a series of answers related to a particular project or a particular issue, my general approach is then to hang up the phone, call the mayor or call Joe and say, I spoke with trustee so-and-so. Here are the questions they had for me, and here's the answers I gave. Because I don't want there ever to be, you know, oh, well, a surprise that there's information I might have provided that the administration is unaware of. That's sort of my approach. I will mention, you know, I do represent, our firm represents the Village of Machesney Park. Probably in the 35 plus years I've been doing this, there's never really been an issue that ever would have, well, there's a boundary agreement that was very friendly and it was, I think it's just in the process of being re-upped. I also do represent Roscoe Township, and there was an issue a year ago where that was a little contentious. If those situations arrive and the issue rises to the level of true conflict, I'd have to step away. Joe's obviously an attorney and can step in. I'm guardedly optimistic that to the extent there were issues associated with that, they're behind us. Prior to the cross-property development, there were never really any issues, so I'm hoping going forward there won't. And I've talked with the supervisor and other representatives, townships, so they know about this relationship. So that's my little elevator speech. I'm happy to answer any questions you might have, or I'll just tell you I look forward to working.
What two other, you mentioned Caledonia, McChesney, Roscoe Township.
First, Lena, and so that it's a little bit of a drive out there, but I do Lena, I do Capron, I do the Cherry Valley Fire Protection District. I do, as I said, Caledonia, but I haven't been to a meeting there in a year. Mayor there's a good guy, but he's got it under control. Am I leaving one out? Roscoe Township, obviously, I mentioned Chesapeake, of course. I think that's it. I mean, we do probably, our firm and my partners, we probably represent 20. Iran. We could work for Cherry Valley. There's more, but I can't name them all off the top of my head.
South Lake.
No.
Do we have any elevators in Roscoe?
I don't know.
Might be a 20-story building, but
Any other questions? Well, thank you.
Well, I appreciate it, and I look forward to working with all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Going on to item number 3, cash report and bills. You have before you tonight invoices totaling $155,857.85. You have wages and payroll taxes and IMRF totaling $107,851.84, making a total of expenditures from the general fund tonight of $263,709.69. And you'll notice that the motor fuel fund has a balance of $1,573,384.23. May I have a motion to pay the bills?
Second.
Are there questions, clarifications of any? Hearing none. Motion and a second. Babcock,
yes.
Malaco,
Yes.
Petty. Yes. Block.
Yes.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Also included in your documents is a look at budget to actual for the 8 months ending August 30th. Want to take a look at that? I'll ask Treasurer Olson. Highlights that you noticed, or going to the bottom line.
Yeah, I mean, it's the revenues are about 68%. We're at about 67% of the year. General revenues are about 68% of the year. Really good. obviously interest is up. Public safety is about 62%. Village hall expenditure are about 67%, so in line. Our bottom line. Be on page 6. We're at about budgeted. A revenue under expenditure to 2.9, right about 357. There's some other things in there coming in, right, even that out, so. So all in all, it's about standard month to month right now.
And there are some items that we had appropriated that we may not end up spending.
Exactly.
And there were some items that staff is working hard to align account numbers.
Yes.
So when you look
we talked
through-
about that, yeah.
When you look through this, if you see some things that seem a little bit out of whack with really high percentages, it's because, again, there will be some work to move things around to get them into the proper accounts. One thing that I noticed, there was a large category for miscellaneous, but some of the things that were temporarily filed into that were
Property taxes.
properties we purchased and tearing down 2 properties. So it's temporary. It's temporary until things get aligned. Anyone have any questions? Okay. Did you want to say anything about the audit?
Oh, we're in a little bit of a standstill because their report is in final review. We should be getting that back hopefully. Their auditor quit. So we've had a little bit of a issue with getting the final thing done. So I've had to answer questions a couple times because now the partner's having to finish the job up, so. But I know the report's in final review, I got that, so. Hopefully, hopefully I have a phone conversation with her tomorrow, and I can kind of go through her items, one by one, get that. So,
Thank you.
yes.
Again, thank you. It's been an ordeal.
It always is, it seems like, I don't know why, and it's just, I guess it was just the other day, she contacted me and said Jenna quit, so.
And moving on to the consent agenda. Item number 6. Is there a motion to approve resolution 2024 R42? Entering into an agreement with Omni Technologies LLC for the renewal and maintenance agreement, purchase and installation of hardware for the Village of Roscoe's access control system. If you remember, that's an amount not to exceed $6,949. Second. Calling vote, please.
Ray,
Yes.
Simon,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Eddie,
Yes.
Babcock,
Yes.
Malcolm.
Yes.
Item 7. May I have a motion to approve the special event permit for the 7th annual Jamie Cox Memorial 5K Run Walk? This event will take place Saturday, October 19th. Where is it? Is it listed in your documents? Probably on the map.
School, yeah.
It's trunk or treat day. That's. Yeah, it's in the morning. They'll be done before. Anything starts at Burr.
There was a motion and a second, correct?
No, no second.
Oh, is
I'll
there a
second.
second? Thank you.
Eddie,
Yes.
Clark,
Yes.
Malcolm,
Yes, should we have suspended the rules on this one?
Or what?
So
So it's on the 19th, we have. Again, it's under new business, right?
Oh,
So technically, this is your first reading, so you.
oh,
can't-
I'm
put it
sorry,
through.
I skipped that. Just assumed it was under the consent agenda. So we can go back and do that. All right,
Well, do we have time otherwise? Otherwise, it'd have to come up again, so.
can we roll back? And do a suspended?
Did we do this at?
I thought we did it at committee.
Committee.
I thought it was.
It's listed there. I'll make a motion, we suspend the rules for Ron.
Second.
Malaco,
Yes.
Petty,
Yes.
Flock,
Yes.
Simon,
Yes.
Wright,
Yes.
Babcock.
Yes.
Right. Is there a motion then to approve the special event permit?
So moved.
for Second. Control, please.
Babcock,
Yes.
Malaco,
Yes.
Petty,
Yes.
Flock,
Yes.
Simon,
Yes.
Wright.
Yes.
Thank you. Right, item number 8, as you see here. Just a reminder that Halloween trick or treat will be on the traditional day of October 31st, 5 to 7 p.m. throughout the village. That will be on our website. And it's going to address the truck or treat at Porter Park.
So I just printed up a quick little sheet that I gave everyone since I didn't do it this afternoon. So our big activities that we're doing this year, we're having Lincoln Bias, who is a pumpkin carver from Rockford. He was on Food Network. If you are on social media, you see him all over now. He's doing something at Beefaroo. He is at all the apple orchards on the weekends. So we're excited to have him from 3:30 to 4:30. Hammy Cloud will be there, just walking around, hanging out with the kids. 3 to 6, we'll have the balloon house, which is the reverse sort of jumpy house. It has an air thing in it, kind of looks like a snow globe with balloons in it, and the kids go in for 3 minutes at a time and just run around. We're also gonna have a 12-foot coloring wall, which will have different coloring sheets on it, all Halloween themed. And then we invited the RC Flyers, and they're the ones that do the event out at Chickley Ridge. They have several different types of planes, remote control planes that they fly. So he was gonna bring some witches and bats. He also has a Superman that they're trying to get flying. So depending on weather, they will be there. If we have a nice day without a lot of wind, we'll see a lot more stuff being flown. And then right now, we have 10 staff that are available and 3 officers that will be there right now. And I just checked my email. We now have 28 participants. So those businesses are either setting up a table or doing the truck or treat part of it with like handing candy out of their work vehicles. There's a help truck coming from the state. We'll have 3, 4 public works cars. We'll have Roscoe. We'll have some police vehicles there. We have some people bringing their cars, classic cars like they did last year. And we have, like I said it the last time, you know, we are spreading it way out. So hopefully I'll have a map. So you guys can kind of see where everything is going to be. We've received $750 in cash donations. And then in-kind donations from all of the people that are on the list there. Portageon, they didn't really make a donation. They just kind of gave us a discount, but still very nice of them. So we'll be picking up all of these items and it's kind of where we are. We have a lot of people that are coming in late, wanting to join us, which we kind of anticipated. That's how it is every year. So yeah, it's going to be, we'll have a lot more people there this year too. So hopefully that helps with cutting down on the lines. And then the last thing I guess I wanted to ask is if any of you wanted to have a table there to sort of sit and, I don't know, talk to the public. The problem is that, you know, we would need enough people to fill 3 hours, and I don't know if we're going to have that. So it's something that you guys want to do as trustees. We can give you a space. If you don't and don't want to commit to sitting there, that's absolutely fine. It's up to you guys. So let me know how you feel.
I'd rather help out.
Okay.
I wanted to have the minutes reflect, let's thank Anne and Janelle and Jenna and the Public Works Department and our administrator, a lot of hours and planning have gone into what's going to be a great event. A lot of phone calls, a lot of communication, a lot of excitement here, and it's going to be great. And the weather's going to be perfect.
It is gonna be perfect.
The weather's going to be perfect.
I Googled it, so it's fine. It's gonna be perfect.
So thank you for all of you. Right,
Okay.
thank you. And Troy is going to give a little summary regarding our patching program.
A little bit about potholes.
Yes.
Oh, that's fun.
I'll go.
Look at his excitement.
All complaints.
I know. Exactly.
First two is this hatchet that we use, it's a Falcon. Called 2 ton, which means it holds 2 tons of material. And it runs off a diesel that heats up an oil jacket around the whole outside, and it's insulated, and that's what heats up usually the UPM or the hot mix that we used. Here's like our typical, the third page there. It's kind of like a typical pothole. Come on, roll that there. And a lot of times what we do is we have holes along our catch basins here. And we end up cutting those out with our top saw, and then we fill them back in with the mix. And ones like this page here, sometimes we can do it in, or we end up cutting out a square. And it's so like a size that he can handle that, it's probably like a 10 by 10, 5 by 5 area.
When you say we, who's doing this?
With public works. Alright.
But I know the question came up originally too, that we're not doing a capacity matching program this year, so that's why I think also we might try to figure out, here's what we do, look what we do every day, every week. What we're working on.
Sometimes when the public works will have our pothole, they're not potholes, but it's like we put these new signs. And we end up filling in the area. So that's potholes, these are smaller ones. I didn't get too many good pictures of what we do at Class D patch, because a lot of them kind of got covered up, or they're older ones that blended in. But Class D patching is usually like, say, a half a lane, like 8 to 10 feet wide, and maybe 20 feet or 30 feet. It's usually a section that has where we're recurring potholes that keep blowing up. But a good one is what we did last year was on Prairie Road, right in front of Mercy Health Physician Center. That's, as you can see, this was like a double lane, and it was like a big area.
Are those the ones that we contract out for?
And that's, yeah,
Okay.
the Class C is the ones that we contract out. And then a little education on, in the wintertime, usually from January to May or June, it's usually June when the plant opens back up. We use a cold mix called a UPM, which is it's a unique paving material, which is pretty much old asphalt. They grind it up, they put more power and oil into it. And what's nice about that is we can keep it in our machine and just heat it back up and go out and hit a couple, and then, you know. The bad thing is, it doesn't hold up as good as the regular hot mix, which the regular hot mix is just like the same stuff that they use on the roads. It compacts a lot better and tighter. Sometimes, with the UPM, when we plow over it again in the wintertime, sometimes we'll knock it back out or shave it back down. And so for the cold mix, this year between January and June, we've got 11.8 tons, which is a little over $1,800. And it's $170 a ton because it takes more work and more oils and stuff, I guess, put in there. Our hot mix between June and as of right now, the plants usually close down like around Thanksgiving. But we've had over 12 tons, and that's only $73 a ton. So we've only spent $894. And the potholes, this is kind of skewed. This says we did 42 potholes for the wintertime. And that's just off of like a resident calls in or staff sees something. But a lot of times, so what we do is we take like our plow routes, which are 7 different plow routes, like blue, orange, green. And we'll run that whole route, every single road. And we don't do like individual work orders. We just fill up the holes. But now, since the last 2 months, we've had to maintain X, which is nice because residents can call in, staff can see it, anyone can tell us, and then we make individual work orders for that. And for the last 2 months, we've done over 61, which that's still, skewed a little bit because they see one, 5 feet down, they'll just go down and fill it in. And it's usually a 2-person team. One guy will stay in the truck and then the other will hop out. And then sometimes with the bigger ones, they'll both hop out because once you put it on, you have to tamp it down. But on the busier roads, like say McDonald, especially around the curve or Willowbrook, stuff like that, I'll have a truck that follows behind them with their flashes out too. So it's usually like a 3-person team. And, anyone have any more questions?
So if your residents call you, they can report on the website, they can call Public Works directly, the phone number of Public Works, they can call Village Hall, we'll report on. There's a form on the website, report your concern, that all goes, eventually all goes down to Troy, to Christine, down at Public Works, and they'll, like you said, create the work order and they'll get those done, so. I think, the big thing is the Class D, just mentioning that, we aren't doing it this year because we can't bids on it, but we've got a new sort of plan for next year. I think Troy and Brandon going out, trying to find a little more larger projects for next year, I think. And hoping that we do all those at once, we'll get a little better on the bids for those. Again, we are doing pothole work, we are doing repairs, it's just not the Class D program.
Is Hodges run a Class D or is that a fix? Repair over here at Hodges run a cul-de-sac that they should.
Well, it depends on part detail. I mean, Public Works can do a lot of that, cut out little sections. If we want to do a full detail to widen that out, that's going to be
A bit.
yeah.
So those types of things will come under review when the village engineer puts together the recommendations for 2025.
Because that could get into after you have to extend the culverts out, so they have the proper grade and everything like that too.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Public comment? Anyone wishing to make public comment? Hearing none, there is no need for an executive session. Oops. Oh,
Sorry, I'm not used to the way meetings. Good evening.
would you state your name, please, for the record?
My name is Jim Powers. I am a resident of the village of Roscoe. I'm also the vice president of Veterans Training Special Dogs, also known as VTSD. We are a 501(c) company, charitable, and our mission is to train dogs and the veterans to bring about a bond between them to relieve stress and PTSD in the veteran. We need a place indoors to train our veterans. And I noticed that the cabin was open on over in Porter Park, which is close to where I live. And I've talked to several people, Mr. Curlitus and Sue, and everybody recommended I come before you guys and ma'am and state who we are and see that if we can have a specific time that we'd be able to train our dogs in an indoor environment, out of the sun and the rain and the snow and so forth. I know I only have 3 minutes, so that's about the conclusion of my little speech, but I'd love to answer all your questions afterwards. Thank you very much for your time and your consideration.
Thank you. I'm going to respond. We've had some conversations and your program is laudable, but it is not something that is permitted by ordinance within the village of Roscoe. We have an ordinance which does not allow the use or the existence of uncontrolled, unleashed animals in public spaces. And then secondly, we have a permit that does not allow animals within Porter Park cabin. It is wholly inappropriate to have animals within Porter Park cabin where many people who rent this serve food, beverages, and all of that type of thing. But the larger issue is we have a current ordinance which does not allow this type of behavior. So if there's anyone here on the board that wishes to change the ordinance, then suggest it and see if you get support for doing that. But at this point in time, you're not going to be allowed to use the interior Porter Park cabin to train somebody's dog. You can do it outside anywhere, but not inside.
I address the ordinance that you just described, please, and our organization. First of all, and thank you very much. First of all, our animals are always leashed, always leashed. They're not running wild. So if that's the ordinance that we're being denied our request, I would suggest that it does not apply to our dogs. Secondly, I understand that people will be coming into the cabin. We will only be in there, the dogs actually will only be about 6 dogs at maximum. They will only be in there for approximately 1 hour. We would like it for 3 hours because we want to set up for 1 hour and then we'll train the dogs for 1 hour and then we'll leave and we'll use an hour cleaning the place. We'll leave it as clean as when we came in there. I also talked to Mr. Kalenkas and he suggested that after we cleaned, we should schedule it where the cleaning crew came in afterwards. The cleaning crew comes in once a week, as I understand.
I think my suggestion was that, actually, my Tom's right here too, but the township has a indoor facility.
Township.
Yeah.
Yes,
Roscoe
Roscoe
Township facility.
There are other facilities available. We have not sought them out yet. Because this facility is close to my home and it's very beautiful and nice and it gives the village of Roscoe an opportunity to show its support of veterans. I don't know if that's important to anybody or not. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. Thank you very much for your time and I hope I addressed some of your concerns.
But as I said, policy does not allow it. It's not going to happen unless this board changes the ordinance. And the cabin as put up was not intended to be a training facility for animals. I understand the value of your program, but you should look for a better place. It's not appropriate for our cabin. And again, if there's someone here on the board who wishes to set in motion, get some support for rewriting the ordinance and doing it, fine. But as it stands now, the policy is you will not have access to the cabin to train your dogs.
Thank you.
Was Porter Park was built to be a training facility, was it not?
Educational.
Educational.
Yeah, nature education.
And right now, we are letting the Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts use Porter Park, a 501(c)(3)
Correct.
Monday and Tuesday into infinity. I mean, that's what it looks like on a computer.
Yep, and I think also Lions Club and I think probably Lions Club and something, I think a couple of other ones too. Yep, that's what our ordinance allows.
And the dogs themselves are protected by the American with Disabilities Act.
No,
Why?
They're not considered
they're
service
not
animals.
service animals, yeah.
Most definitely.
They are.
Yes, they are.
I think we talked, said they were not service animals, but you're saying that they're service animals?
They are
They are service animals,
Therapy
yes.
dogs.
Every dog is documented as a service animal. Every dog is registered as a service animal.
If anybody's questioning the American with Disabilities Act, not only is it online, I have cards to describe the entire.
I guess my question, and we talked earlier, and I asked, are they, you're training them or they are service animals?
We are training them, but they are service animals. We are training them First of all, the American with Disability Act does not describe that the dogs need to be trained as service dogs. There's no such thing.
I guess all I was asking, I mean, I understand that. I'm just saying is when we talked before, you said they were not service animals. So I'm just trying to clarify that, I guess. So you're saying they are service?
I don't remember you asking that question, but yes, they, by the pure definition of a service animal, they are taking veterans and servicing them to veterans use them to service their needs. I don't know if I'm wording that correctly or not, but I have a dog that I take, and I've been all over this country with that dog. That dog helps me with my PTSD. Also, I have a situation where I have sometimes where it's stressed, it's hurts my body. The dog knows it, comes up and helps me out with it, with its love. This program brought me from a very sad state with my PTSD up to where I'm a functioning member of the society today. That dog of mine has never been through a quote unquote service animal training course, because they really legally do not exist.
Yeah, and I'm not saying they had to go through a training course. I was just asking if they're service animals.
They are.
I may have misunderstood the conversation previously.
I'm sorry that we did get.
May I have a word, please? My name is Bruce. I'm the president of VTSD. I've been with this, doing this for 13 years. With Circle of Change, I don't know if you've heard of Circle of Change.
I have.
When I started with Circle of Change, I couldn't be sitting here right now. I couldn't be doing this. I'd be off in the corner somewhere. They have improved my attitude. They improved my everything. We left Circle of Change to start our own program to do basically the same thing. Not exactly the same thing, but basically the same thing. It is educational. We educate our veterans and let them know that they are worthy people now. They could actually do this. The dogs may have PTSD. You're showing the dogs that they can be trusted, the dogs that they can trust people. All this works out into one big love.
We're
And
not debating the value and the worth and the dignity and the need for the program. The question is doing the training within our space. And our current policy does not allow it. And we suggest you seek other places. Where have you done it before? And unless this board wants to rewrite the ordinance, then we will look at that. But at this time, as I said, it's not going to be happening in Porter Park Cabin. And again, as I said, I'm not questioning your heart, your need, the wonderful things that you do, the compassion and the service that these animals provide. That's not what the issue is. The question is a cabin that was never intended for many animals the right place to train these animals? And the answer is no. It does not exist for that purpose. It has never been used for that purpose. Our ordinance does not allow it, and we would have to have the ordinance change. So we will leave it to members of this board to bring up the conversation under committee of the whole in 2 weeks or something of that nature if someone wants to do it.
I will.
Okay, great.
And I'd like a copy of the ordinance, please.
Do we have any other facilities
Have you tried the VFW hall? Have you tried the VFW hall?
Yes, we've tried many other places. This is a facility we'd like for a number of reasons.
What did the VFW say?
They said, yeah, they have a facility for us. That's what we were told, that they have a place we could use. We didn't get into details because we had hopes that we would this board.
So they'll let you use their facility? Yes.
Yes.
What?
But this facility,
We desire this facility. But as I said, we'll have this conversation at committee of the whole in 2 weeks. So, ending public comment. There is no executive session. Is there a motion to open?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
All right.
Aye. Meeting adjourned.
Aye.
Going on, committee of the whole.